Today, we're talking about the Natural Resources Conservation Service and how the agency helps cattle producers best use, manage, and protect their resources. Russell Nemitz introduces us to a Louisiana producer who is successfully mixing cattle and woodlands thanks to the help of the NRCS.
When it comes to raising cattle, the weather and the landscape in southwest Louisiana are just a little bit different.
Longleaf, like this site here, is relatively rare on this landscape and has a beautiful herbaceous grassland plant community that's really good to raise cattle on while you're growing timber as well. We started out in 1982 when we purchased 75 acres of a longleaf tract. And we thinned the timber out to the point that sunlight hit the ground, and we put a fence around it, prescribed, burned it, and began to run some cattle. And from there we learned the art and the science of running cattle in the woods.
Dave Daigle has a very unique operation. He does not focus strictly on cattle, and he does not focus strictly on forest production. He's kind of right in the middle. He's getting the best of both worlds. By doing both, he's created a very sustainable production operation where he's getting quality forest products, he's getting quality livestock being produced, and probably putting in less inputs than if he was concentrating on either one.
As a lifelong environmentalist, Dave understood his operation required a different approach to resource management, and he knew he needed a partner to help him. So he reached out to his local NRCS field office in order to build a conservation plan for his farm.
To manage correctly, I knew I needed help. You know, we fight some endangered species. You know, we need help with burning. We needed help with a prescribed grazing plan. Just everything tying it together and getting a consensus on what we need to do out there and then executing what we do. And it's so much of it has been technical assistance, which has come from NRCS.
I met Mr. Daigle in 2009. We started out with a conservation plan. We established a really good working relationship early based on getting water and cross fences to his land units in order to really hone down a grazing plan.
The conservation plan is something we could really hang our hat on. It's concrete, it's there. We go to it, and very, very important for us to get what we need done here. Can't do it alone.
By managing all these values on his farm, he is able to increase his net production. There's very little input, but there's a very high net. And that's important in his operation because he doesn't spend all that money up front for inputs. We've used conservation practices through EQIP and the Conservation Stewardship Program to enhance his farm and to give him financial ability to manage the way he needs to manage this place.
NRCS did the first conservation plan for us in about 1982 or so. And then NRCS has done subsequent ones on different tracts over the years. NRCS has come in since then and made some changes. This plan is about 11 years old on this particular tract. So it's been an evolution process with NRCS to see the conservation plans get more sophisticated and take more conservation into mind on each tract.
Dave is very focused on management. He investigates a lot of different avenues to get him information, and NRCS does play a role in that. So working through that conservation plan, he asks questions, but he listens to all the experts, and then he evaluates how it can work for his place.
Dave's conservation plan aims to work in concert with his unique natural environment, and over time, he's been able to improve his resources and his cattle production using fewer inputs.
Prescribed burning along with grazing is necessary to move these forests forward into a production stance. Production is not Mr. Daigle's objective. It's natural resource management. but he is able to use these cows as a management tool.
And using that plan, we're producing more beef on these sites than we were before. For a number of reasons. Number one, we're using our grass in a way that means healthier grasses, healthier prairie.
Follow natural processes and don't fight Mother Nature, don't fight God. Just mimic what he put into play. You'll work less, you'll produce more, and that's a big key, and less impact on the environment. And another thing that Dave says all the time, it's a philosophy you hear from other true conservationists, and that's leaving the land in a better shape for future generations, and he's certainly doing that. He's taking land that was either under or over managed and mimicking those natural processes, bringing back to where it could be more sustainable and leaving it in better condition than he got it.
Dave appreciates the support he's received from NRCS, not only with conservation planning, but with cost sharing that has helped him put his plan into practice. He also firmly believes it's a partnership that benefits NRCS as well.
Conservation planning, that's the roots of our agency. That's how we provide technical assistance to help people address their objectives and their problems. And over the last few decades, we were fortunate enough to also be able to provide financial assistance to help them. And so by sitting down and going through the conservation planning process, we can develop a schedule of operations to help you meet and achieve your objectives, and then come in with the tools to help you implement that plan, and those tools can be financial assistance.
The EQIP program is very, very important because it's specific to certain conservation practices that we do, like prescribed grazing or prescribed burning, brush control, exotic species, invasive species, encroachment. It helps us on those a great deal.
NRCS is a service to the local agriculture community. We provide conservation planning to improve their operations, and we can even provide money to improve their operations, and that's the most fantastic thing.
Reporting from the Longleaf Pine Savanna of Southwest Louisiana, I'm Russell Nemitz for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.